recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivia Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivia Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Chris.
Yo, we going down to Sesame Street.
That's your impression of hardcore rap?
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list. Oh my God.
You were like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
And the rest of the Trivia Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan and I am here today with Mr. Ben Young. Hello, Ben.
Hello, children.
You enjoying that spicy buffalo popcorn over there, dude?
I was. It's gone now.
Yeah, it's in my belly.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Chris Hollister's here with me. Hello, Chris.
Huh? What? Oh, hey, Jonathan, we're on the air?
No, we're recording.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm going to go back to sleep then.
Oh, good.
All right, thanks, man.
That's my partner.
It's your partner.
That's my partner.
That's your quarterback.
Anyway, it's good to be back on, man. Thanks.
Absolutely. And we have guests.
We do.
We do.
Woo!
First guest today, Mr. Tim Hilliard. Hello, Tim.
Woo!
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, man. And Mr. Matthew Kimberlin is here with us today. Hey, Matthew.
Woo-hoo!
What's up, guys?
Now, do you prefer Matthew or Matt?
Actually, I prefer Matty.
Matty, yes.
I like it.
Matty Ice.
Matty Boom Batty. You can't help but rhyme with Matty.
Well, as someone who's had weight problems throughout his life, that's a little tough, the rhyming part.
Well, I was actually, I was going to say, what was I going to say?
Don't worry about it, man.
No, yeah. No, it's funny you brought up weight because if you did poorly, we were going to call you Matty Light.
Matty Light.
Wow.
That would be a first.
Well, there you go. All right, guys, well, let's get to know you a little bit better. Tim, we'll start with you. Tell us where you're from, what you do, and tell us something interesting about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Tim Hilliard. I live in San Jose. I work for a large tech company as a software engineering manager. I'm originally from Australia. I've been here for a few years now. It's been great.
Fantastic. What part of Australia were you from?
I'm from the Gold Coast, which, for those who don't know where that is, it's about an hour south of Brisbane, smack bang in the middle of the East Coast.
Oh, it is the East. I thought the Gold Coast was the eastern side.
Most of Australia is on the eastern side of Australia, so
Is that
Fairly
is
good
that Queensland?
it's on the It's in Queensland on the border.
All right, hey, I got the.
Hey-o.
Are they
You got it.
provinces
That's my
or
partner.
states? Are they provinces or states?
The States.
States. I got the state.
Nice.
Proud
Good
of
job,
myself.
man.
Good pull.
Yes, you should be.
I should be. I agree. Matthew,
Good hustle.
tell us where you're from, what you do, and something interesting about yourself.
So I'm from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I run a nascent trivia company called Clever Clogs Trivia. I guess the most interesting thing about me right now is that for the last year and for the foreseeable future, my family and I live on the road, first as kind of a sabbatical and now as trying to get our trivia business going. We sold our house and now we live around the country in hotels. So it's an interesting bohemian life.
Wow, you're like a band of gypsies rolling down the highway.
That's right. On the road again, baby.
Well, that's kind of cool. I mean,
Yeah.
God, hotel to hotel though, that seems like a pricey way to do it, isn't it?
You forget about how many like utilities and other bills you have to pay when you have like a permanent residence. I don't pay for electric or cable or breakfast. It's pretty good.
You can load up on some sticky buns too,
true.
man.
Yeah,
Preach.
you can.
For sure. Like, can I get 2 more trays of those cinnamon rolls, please?
And it's a go
And
bag.
I'm just going to
Okay,
take this
no, hang
pancake
on,
maker with me.
Pro tip. If you stay at a Holiday Inn Express, they have little to-go boxes. They will box up the cinnamon rolls for you.
You're kidding. How many?
No, like as many as you want.
What?
Whoa.
Yes.
Just blew Jonathan's mind.
I stay at Holiday Inn Express a lot.
The next TWA Shape Up Facebook post is going to go in a very dark direction.
Yeah, but the next TWA meetup is going to be at a Holiday Inn Express breakfast.
Sure is.
Now, see, I never considered that idea, but think about it. There's a whole lot of space. The seating is free. You don't have to pay for extra space. You just come in there and dominate their breakfast.
Wow. Dominate the breakfast.
That's amazing.
Oh, my.
I'm down. We're making it happen.
Wow.
All right, guys. Well, this is episode 202, and we're going to have a great time, but we're going to start with a little game I like to call Warm It Up, Ben.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
All right. So this Warm It Up Chris question is brought to us by third-year law student Jessica Peel.
Thank you, Jessica.
Wow.
Thanks,
Jinx
Jessica.
How many?
Thanks, Jess.
How many years of law school is typical?
3.
Okay, I
Three.
was wondering if it was like if it's only like supposed to be like a semester of law school before you graduate. Was this saying, "Hey, look, I'm pulling the 8-year plan" kind of thing?
Yeah,
I didn't know
well-
if it was a joke or not.
Well, I mean, I got my bachelor's in my 19th year, so yeah.
My friend Brian once looked at a friend of his and said, 7 years you're not a doctor, 7 years I'm not a junior.
Man, 7 years. That's
All
the best years of high school I've ever had.
Oh, yeah, man. love that 7th year. All right. So the theme here is going to be greater than, less than, or equal to. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 2 different entities, and I want you to tell me, is the number in that in those entities greater than, less than, or equal to each other? All right.
Okay.
So
All right.
what we're going to do is we're going to start with Matty. All right. And so your 2 entities are the number of member states of the United Nations and the number of bones in the human body.
Oh, that's oh shoot, that's going to be close too. So Bones is 206, and member states is somewhere in the range of 200. Shoot. So I know there's a few countries in the world that aren't UN member states. So I'm going to say that UN member states is less than bones in the body.
So there are 206 bones in the body, and there are 193 member states.
Nice
Good job, Matty.
Hey-o.
Nice.
So Tim, you're up next. So you have the number of bathrooms in the White House and the number of bathrooms in Buckingham Palace.
Wow. I feel like there must surely be more in Buckingham Palace, knowing how huge that place is. But then again, the White House is pretty big too.
And it's full of crap.
Very true.
Zing!
I'm going to say Buckingham Palace.
All right. So the White House has 35 bathrooms. Buckingham Palace has 78 bathrooms.
Wow.
Good
Yeah,
job.
I didn't think there was any doubt about it. It was like Buckingham Palace has all the bathrooms.
Yeah, that place is massive. All right. Jonathan.
Yo.
So you have the population of the state of Tennessee or the population of the Dallas-Fort Worth area as of 2017 for both.
Oh, man, I wish you'd given this one to Matty. That's just stomping grounds. All right, so Dallas-Fort Worth is actually 3 massive cities because it includes Arlington as well, which kind of sits in between them. And you're talking about gotta be 5 million plus in that area. Maybe even more than that. Tennessee, you have Nashville, you have Knoxville. You know what? I'm going to go Dallas-Fort Worth.
As more or less?
More.
So Tennessee has 6.7 million people. Dallas-Fort Worth metro area has just shy of 7.4 million people.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Man.
Wow.
All
Nice
right.
job,
Nice.
Jay.
Thank you.
Okay. And Chris,
Yes, sir.
so you have the number of cats owned as pets versus
who?
the number of dogs owned as pets in the United States.
Oh.
And these are as of 2012.
Okay, I think the number of cats is greater than the number of dogs owned as pets because you have the crazy cat ladies that have like 37 cats. Just saying.
It's interesting.
So that's your logic?
Yes. Yes, crazy cat lady or man. Because I know a couple crazy cat men.
So dogs, you have just shy of 70 million dogs owned as pets.
Wow.
Cats are 74 million.
Yeah.
So you're right.
I'm warmed up. 4 million cat ladies.
Yep, there you go. All right.
Cats rule, dogs drool.
That's right. All right. Matty. The number of 3-point shots Shaq made during his entire NBA career versus the number of championships the Cleveland Cavaliers have won.
Versus the number of marriage times Jonathan's been married.
So one of those numbers I know for sure. The Cavs have won once. I want to say that this came up sometime recently. I want to say Shaq made 2 3-pointers in his career. So I'm going to go with Shaq 3-pointers.
I would go with equals.
Being the greater number.
Okay.
I think equals
I
is right
believe
too.
it.
It's equals.
All right, so the Cavs have won 1 championship, and Shaq has made 1 3-point shot.
Equals, baby.
Yeah. I forgot about the equals.
Tim, you have the number of chicken wings Americans eat on Super Bowl Sunday as of 2017,
My God.
and the number of Big Macs sold annually in the United States as of 2015.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Gluttony.
It's
My
what's
name
for
is-
dinner.
I'm going to need to marinate on that one for a second.
Just like the chicken wings. I see where you're going there.
You know what? This question has the meats.
Yes, it does.
Ving Rhames is back
I just listened to
again.
that episode.
I just ate lunch, and I'm hungry again from this question. It's amazing.
I am going to say there are more Big Macs sold every year than the chicken wings.
McDonald's sells 550 million Big Macs a year.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Super Bowl Sunday, Americans eat 1.33 billion wings.
Whoa. Whoa.
Wow. Oh my God.
That's a lot of chicken.
That's a lot of
What
chicken.
is the population of the U.S.?
that was not
300 million.
330, 325?
330 million.
Okay, so we eat an average of 1.5 to 1.6 Big Macs per person per year. And
On Super Bowl Sunday.
on Super Bowl Sunday, we eat the equivalent of 5 wings each.
Yes.
Every person in the country.
I'm telling you, it's 3 people in my house. I guarantee you I'm crushing at least 15 wings by myself. All right, Jonathan.
Yo.
You have the height of the Gateway Arch in St. Louis
Okay.
versus the height of the Eiffel Tower.
Ooh.
I
That's a
think
good one.
I think the Gateway Arch is taller.
Gateway Arch is 630 feet. Eiffel Tower is 984 feet.
Holy. That is around the right height for what I thought the arch was. I have seriously underestimated the height of the Eiffel Tower.
It's 80 stories, I think.
My
Something like that.
goodness.
Yeah, it's big.
Oh.
There's a lot of
yours was
croissants.
Yeah, yours was less French and more Cajun.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Let's kick it up a notch.
You can do it.
Oh, boy.
Oh no, we suck again.
Water boy. Oh, great. That was great.
All right. So, on a more somber note,
Yes.
the number of deaths in the United States in 2017 versus the number of births in the United States in 2017.
I think
is
the
interesting.
number of deaths is less than the number of births.
So there were 2.7 million deaths and 3.9 million births.
Oh my goodness.
Crushed it.
Wow, and with the baby boomers starting to really hit their stride, I thought it'd be a lot closer than that.
I thought so too, but then, there are a lot of your younger folks that are having more children, having bigger families and stuff. So.
Well, remember also the population continues to grow.
Yeah.
So,
All right, last go around. Matty, the number of NBA teams
it's fantastic.
versus the number of MLB teams.
So that is, I'm pretty sure that is 30 to 30. There are 30 teams in the NBA and 30 teams in the MLB. So I'm going to say that's equal.
You are absolutely right. 30
Nice
and 30.
job.
Nice.
The equal didn't get you that time.
That's right.
All right, Tim. The number of episodes of The Simpsons versus the number of episodes of Law and Order SVU.
Yeah, I used to watch a lot of Simpsons, a lot of Super Simpsons Saturday in Australia. And Law and Order has been on forever. I'm still going to say The Simpsons.
Okay. Law and Order SVU has 444 episodes.
Simpsons has over 600.
649.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
There was never any question in my mind. Simpsons is higher than everything except like Gunsmoke or something like that.
Yep.
They've got to be
Yeah.
passing even Gunsmoke.
I don't know,
at
but
this
the-
point.
I think it just passed Gunsmoke
Really?
this year.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, I
recent.
think so.
Yeah.
Is it the highest all time now?
It is the highest.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the crazy part is SUV is still going on. That's just nuts.
That is pretty nuts.
So you have President Trump's Twitter followers versus President Obama's Twitter followers. And this is as of December 20th, 2018.
I got to go Obama. I've got to go Obama.
All right. So Trump has 56 million and Obama has 104 million.
Yeah.
So you're good there.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
Not even close.
All right. And to wrap us up, Chris.
Yes.
The average cost for a wedding dress in the United States in 2017
Expensive.
versus the average ticket price for Lin-Manuel Miranda's last performance as Hamilton.
Wow.
Oh,
By
wow.
the way, fantastic that I got this question. Just fantastic.
You've bought your share of wedding dresses.
No.
Oh, that's not why?
No.
Oh, why?
Hamilton, dude. Come on.
You've never been to Hamilton?
Not yet, but I'm going to.
Ooh.
Anyway, well, the average. Okay, so it's the average price of wedding dress. Let's see. I got to go with my boy Lin-Manuel Miranda. I'm going to say it is wedding dresses are less than the Hamilton ticket.
You want to take a guess how much each are?
No, all I know is that the wedding dress that my wife bought for our day was way expensive.
I'd guess that the wedding dresses are somewhere in the
three to 5,000 range.
Oh my god,
$20-$30.
No, I was saying on average.
Yeah.
I mean, there's expensive ones, but there's still a lot of people who don't spend like that.
Right.
I'd guess the average wedding dress is like 1,000,
Okay.
and I'd guess the tickets would be like 1,500 or more.
So your average wedding dress is $1,500.
Okay,
Average Hamilton ticket, $3,391.
there you go.
Whoa. Wow.
Good Lord.
That was 3 for 3.
Wow.
That was your warm it up, Chris, question of the episode.
Great job. That was Jessica.
Yeah, that was
Jessica
Jessica.
Peel.
Fantastic job, Jessica.
That was
Well written.
wonderful.
That was a great.
Yeah.
Say hi to Justin Timberlake for us.
No, yep.
Peel, not Beal.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's all right.
It was a good joke. It was a good joke.
I'll accept it.
They're good jokes, Brent.
All right, guys, today's game, it is going to be Tim and Matty versus Chris and Jonathan. Ben is hosting, and it's time to play the game.
Play us. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
Players. Oh, yeah.
So I was thinking about this. So in Vegas, we got to have that track, and I'm going to do that live at the pub trivia. I'm going to do
Nice.
that.
Up.
I did it. Of course, I'm not going to.
You took plenty of takes. I edited that together.
And you said you
You
don't even
only
remember
took
the
multiple
words of
takes
it.
at the end when I said "Let's get it on." I got the other part right.
I already have my Vegas. I already have my Vegas Trivia Warfare pub quiz team name picked out.
So you're going to join us? You're joining us in August?
Yeah, I've been at the last 4 of the
awesome.
prior event.
Awesome.
Okay, round 1, question 1. Your first category is in movies.
All right.
Elvira Hancock is a listless Miami trophy wife in what iconic 1983 film, widely considered to be Michelle Pfeiffer's big break?
Okay, let's go with yours then.
Michelle and Piper in it?
I don't remember her being in it, but it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Was there a trophy wife in it?
Well, yeah, I think about the character.
Well, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
So, yeah, because I think this was later on now that we're talking about it. So.
All right. We're going with Jonathan's movie knowledge.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, boy.
All right, we're locked in.
Boy.
Okay, Matty. I have no freaking idea here. I don't have a lot of Michelle Pfeiffer knowledge. The only thing I can even think of her in is Grease 2, so we can rule that one out.
Well, I know that Michelle Pfeiffer is that white gold. So, actually, so this is my worst category. But 83 Miami, the first thing that would come to mind for me is Scarface. But the thing here of it being she's a listless Miami trophy wife, that leads me to think that she decides to get some action in her life, get something going on the side. And I'm pretty sure that Michelle Pfeiffer was in a steamy movie called Body Heat. And so that is the only, I guess it could be Scarface, but that doesn't seem to make any sense. And so I would think Body Heat.
I'm happy to go with you there. So, yeah.
All right. So, like degree antiperspirant, we're going to lock in that Body Heat.
Okay.
All right. Well, I originally wrote down Married to the Mob because Michelle Pfeiffer was in that, and again, she was a very listless trophy wife in that. But then Jonathan was like, I think that was too late.
No, I said, is that iconic? I'm like, Married to the Mob's not iconic.
And what I was meaning to say to you is like, people throw around the word iconic all the time. I mean, it's just
but
like
Ben has a specific meaning of iconic, and that means iconic to him.
Okay, that's a good call.
And he
Very
loves
good call.
him some Scarface.
All right. And by the way, in Body Heat, Kathleen Turner was in Body Heat, not meaning to crush your spirits there, but crush.
He's not a player, but he does
Just
crush a lot.
Anyway, so we went ahead with Jonathan's answer and went with Scarface.
I don't even know if she's in Scarface for what it's worth.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen that.
83 in Miami. That's a good guess.
Anybody that doesn't think this movie is iconic is stupid. Correct answer is Scarface.
Nice job, Jonathan. It's gonna be hard to live with him today.
Someone gave me the DVD, and I still haven't watched it yet.
Oh, man.
It's a good one. My uncle says it's the greatest movie of all time.
Wow.
I beg to differ, but
Yeah.
it is a good movie.
The big call.
Say hello to my little friend.
All right. Your second question round comes to us from Eric and Ashley Sutherland.
Thank you, Sutherland.
And the category is Ben Murders a Hit.
Oh boy, here we go.
Let's do it.
All right. So I'm going to murder the lyrics of a 1969 number 2 hit.
Take a letter, Maria.
This not the right song.
No, it is 1969, though.
Yeah. All right. You ready for the lyrics? Hope you got your things together. Hope you were quite prepared to die. Looks like we're in for nasty weather. One eye is taken for an eye. All right, so I'll read those back. Hope you got your things together. Hope you are quite prepared to die. Looks like we're in for nasty weather. One eye is taken for an eye.
Oh, this is familiar, Chris. This is familiar.
Yeah, I do have this one, Tim.
Okay, awesome. I have no idea. 69 is not a big year for me, so.
Yeah. Well, this is, as much as movies is my kryptonite, Ben Murders a Hit is my maybe specialty category. So.
Awesome. I'm happy for you to lock it in if you want.
Okay, cool.
Y'all are locking in?
Yeah.
All right, so they're locking in. So if you guys want to talk it out.
Do you have any tune in your head on it, Chris? The part that sticks with me is the two middle lines.
Yeah, well, for me, it's look like you're in for nasty weather.
Yeah,
for me, that's the hook. It's not I Will Survive, is it? No, it's too early.
Definitely not I Will Survive.
Yeah.
Is it Queen or Rolling Stones?
It's not Queen. It's still too. 69's too early for Queen.
Hope you're quite prepared to die. Oh man. If we could get to a band that would help. 1969, I mean, you have rock and roll. It feels rock and roll.
Okay, so we got Rolling Stones. We've got Led Zeppelin, The Who, Pink Floyd.
Number 2 hit.
Yep.
The rockers back in the day, the hard rock in the day wasn't hitting the top of the charts. It was the pop rockers that were hitting the top of the charts. The Stones were about as hard as you'd get at the top of the charts. It's a poppy one, I think. Yep. It has a rise and fall to it.
Man, I'm going to be kicking myself.
Me too, man.
It is there. Looks like we're in for nasty weather.
Could it be the Eagles?
Hotel California?
I don't think it's Hotel California. We can't take all day on it.
No, I know. Let's just take one more minute. We could do one more minute.
All right. Man, this sucks. I know this song.
No, this is going to sound completely familiar when Ben gives us the name. Just trying to think of people in that time. Not Simon and Garfunkel.
Bob Dylan?
It doesn't, I don't know.
You want to go with Subterranean Homesick Blues?
I've never heard that before.
I'm sure you have.
No, really I haven't. Or did you just make it up?
No, I guarantee that's a very famous song that you absolutely know.
Okay. All right. Then that's fine. I thought you were just like...
No, I'm not making something.
I thought you were doing a Carmela.
No, that's a real thing.
Okay. I that's fine because I don't know.
All right. We'll say...
Not in the time.
We'll say Subterranean Homesick Blues.
All right.
I'm not much of a singer, but it's hope you have got your things together. Hope you are quite prepared to die.
Oh my gosh. Bad Moon Rising.
Don't go around tonight. There's a bathroom on the right. It's a Bad Moon Rising.
Dang it.
Nice one, Matty.
No!
That sucks.
And it had the rise and fall. We had the feel right. Darn it.
When you guys started going toward because you're like, oh, more poppy, more rocky, and I'm like, well, don't go toward the folk country. And when you started going Simon and Garfunkel, Bob Dylan, I was like, no, get out of it, go away.
If we'd have said CCR, we might have had a chance to get there.
Yep, absolutely. Dang it,
man.
All right, Ben, we know it's the right answer, but break our hearts.
Yep, it's Bad Moon Rising. Great
CCR.
I like CCR.
I know.
I have Fortunate Son on Rock Band downstairs.
Love that song.
Yeah, that sucks.
Your last question round is in science.
Science.
The thinnest skin on your body surrounds what organs?
Like legit?
Yeah, I really think so.
Trusting Chris, we're locked in.
God help us all.
Hey, I got a movie question. You can get a science question.
So I have a thought, but I don't know how this relates. Like, I believe skin itself is an organ, so I don't know how that relates to wrapping skin.
Right. I think I've actually heard this. I think that the thinnest skin on your body is your eyelids.
That would make sense.
And so I mean that would make sense. It's the one place where it's not very thick. I mean, you can actually pinch it and feel it's really thin. So, and I think I've heard that.
I'm happy to go with it. I have nothing better.
Alrighty, I guess we'll lock that in. Your eyes.
All right.
I was just fumbling around for what might have a thin covering, and we ended up saying eyes.
Mm-hmm. All right. I actually learned this watching Dr. Pimple Popper. The thinnest skin on your body is your eyelids and the skin underneath your eyes. So it is your eyes.
Nice one.
My sister was talking to me about Dr. Pimple Popper and how it's like her favorite show.
It's
creepy sounding.
It's gross, but it's amazing. I love it. So.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
There's a moment of ecstasy. I imagine, like, oh God, she got it. Oh, she got it. Oh.
Yep. Something very...
Every episode has a climax.
Yes.
All right, Jonathan, that was the end of the first round. What's the scores?
20-20.
All right.
20-20, all tied up.
Matty and Tim are tied with Hall and Oaks.
All right.
One-on-one, I want to play that game tonight.
You picked like the most obscure Hall and Oaks song ever.
You could have went with Man Eater.
It has Game Tonight in it, though.
You could have went with Sarah Smile.
Your Kiss is on my list.
Yes.
Private Eyes.
Yes.
Private Eyes would have been pretty good because of the question. That's a good call.
All right. Your second round begins with a question in televisiones.
Television.
Tyne Daly and Sharon Gless co-starred on what cop drama where they traded 6 consecutive Emmy wins for Best Lead Actress in a Drama?
Locked in.
Okay. It's Cagney and Lacey.
Yeah, I was going to ask for the question again, but if you know it, then let's do it.
Yeah, that was early '80s when I was vegging out in front of the TV all the time, as opposed to today where that never happens.
Yeah, when you're definitely not vegging out in front of the TV.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's Cagney and Lacey.
All right.
We also locked in with Cagney and Lacey.
It is Cagney and Lacey.
Was Cagney and Lacey even a show in Australia, Tim?
I've heard of it.
Well, there you go. See?
It's also a little bit out of my my era. I'm not that old.
Oh, he's dating us.
Oh,
He's dating us.
That was a slow burn.
Oh, yeah. Your second question in the round is in abbreviations.
Or as
Abbrev.
Rob Schneider would say, abbreviation.
Abbreviation. All right. Now, we all know the Trivial Warfare takes the pub quiz out of the pub. But
We
the
do
word
know that.
Yes, we do know that.
And brings it home to you.
Brings it home to you.
Yes.
The word pub is an abbreviation for what 2-word phrase?
I'm pretty confident, Chris.
100%.
We're locked in.
All right, Tim.
I believe it's Public House, but
Correct. Yeah, that's what I got too. Good deal. Yeah, we can lock that in.
We said public house.
Correct answer is public house.
There you go.
We must protect this house. Not, in fact, a public house, though. This is a private house.
That is true. You
Yes.
can not anybody could just walk in here.
That's right.
That'll get you hurt real bad.
Yeah.
It's a private quiz.
There is beer in the fridge, though.
That's true.
There's not as much as there was.
If you
'cause I drank
volunteer to pay to drink my beer, you can come over.
some. Oh, there you go.
So I guess it could be a public house. If you come in and pay to drink my beer, I'll let you come in.
Depends on if you got how much cash you got.
Straight cash, homie.
Straight cash. All right. Your last question in the round is in science.
Science.
This question is brought to us by Lisa.
science.
Oh, there's a late one. Slow roller.
Lisa.
This question is brought to us by Lisa Wolfish.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Lisa.
Lisa.
The Bristol chart, which includes 7 categories such as soft, hard, and sausage-like, is used with medical professionals when describing your what?
Is penis not the answer?
I cannot answer that question.
It's like a big kielbasa. I'm going to say I don't know, but there's no way that someone says nobody rates that and says, yep, that's sausage-like. See what I mean? Come on, man.
All right, we're locked in,
We're
Ben.
going to lock in.
Okay.
I have a thought.
Okay.
Somehow it rings a bell. I'm thinking it's how they measure your stool sample.
Okay. That would make sense. I've definitely experienced all 3 of those quality levels.
Have you put your stool in a casing before?
On the advice of my attorney, I'm not going to answer that question.
I didn't have any casing available. I actually used an empty bread bag.
Jonathan has thought about this way too much.
I tied it off and threw it at a friend's house.
So no, I think that makes a lot of sense because what I was thinking of was like a tumor, some sort of tumor type thing. But when the phrasing of the question, when it said to measure your what, made it sound like this is something everyone has. And I mean, poop is kind of like a tumor, but you get rid of it. So yeah, I like that answer a lot. I think we can lock in the deuce.
Locking in the deuce. All right.
Remember when we used to do poop-based team names?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah. That was like early on in our pub trivia career.
When we were first starting.
Yeah, we'd call ourselves the Cleveland Steamers.
Every team name was a new name every week, and they all had poop related.
Yep. Dinosaur Barnacle. I mean, stuff like that. So, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I kind of wish I thought of poop. That was. I think that's.
I like your answer better.
All right. Well, we wrote down our veins.
Your veins.
Yes, because I've heard of hard veins. I've heard of soft veins.
Okay.
Sausage
And veins are like a casing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Bristol chart does measure the quality of your stool.
Yeah. Well done, Tim.
So the funny story
You made
behind
a
this.
poopy.
So Lisa sends me this question, and I'm like, man, Lauren Carey was going to love this question when she hears
really
it.
would have.
And she responds back by doing a screenshot of a post that Lauren put on the Trivial Warfare site around scatology or something like that.
The Viking poop.
Yeah.
Yes.
The 7-inch log. It looks like a weapon.
Yeah. And someone underneath that posted, that's number 2 on the Bristol scale or something.
Oh my God! I didn't get it. I saw the post. I was on that thread.
You're on that
amazing.
poop.
I made a joke about it.
I almost made the category Lauren Carey's favorite category, but I thought that'd give it away too much.
For sure.
All right. Your third round starts with a question in geography.
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 There you go. What river connects Lake Ontario to the Atlantic Ocean?
So, just to be clear, are we talking about a river or a canal? Is it specifically a river?
It is specifically a river.
Okay. All right, we're locked in.
So, you have anything on this one, Tim?
All right. Just to kick us off, Lake Ontario, I'm trying to remember, is that the one on the east side of Michigan?
That is it's the last of the 5 Great Lakes.
Okay, so we're like way up in Canada, like on the...
Yeah, it's where Niagara Falls is.
Okay, that's that one. So I guess the question is, where do we think the river's coming out on the Atlantic? The only 2 rivers I can think of in that area are the Hudson coming out of New York and the Charles that comes out of Boston.
Yeah.
I don't really have any other thoughts on that.
So what I think that it's the St. Lawrence. I think that the St. Lawrence comes from Ontario, and they've got the same thing called the St. Lawrence Seaway that connects them. That's I think that both the Hudson and the Charles are too far south, but yeah. So I think that it's because that's the river for like Montreal and stuff. So I think that's right.
All right, you have a lot more thunder than I do, so let's go with that.
All right, we'll lock in the St. Lawrence River.
All right.
Oh, this sucks, Chris.
It really does. They have a little more thunder than we did.
Well, it's not just that, but I've been to Niagara Falls, which is a trip I would completely make again. Niagara Falls is marvelous. And the reason I asked about canals, because I know they cut a canal from that region through that area to the sea, which facilitated shipping and transportation of goods. Because once you get something to the Great Lakes, you can make your way halfway across the country by ship. And so they wanted to get things from the ocean inland. I wrote down St. Lawrence, and I wrote down Hudson, and I wrote down Potomac as things I thought were in the area. I didn't know which one would be right, but the idea of something coming from upstate New York, traveling across New York and coming out of New York City seemed like the shortest line between 2 dots. And so we went with the Hudson.
All right. Correct answer is St. Lawrence River.
Oh, man.
Hey-o.
Damn!
Man, those last couple questions have been brutal for us.
Fun fact, the Niagara Falls, it like erodes something like 3 feet every year or something. It's crazy. It's like migrated miles over the last hundreds of years.
It's insane. Wow. It's an incredible place to go. Plus, they've built it up now. There's like casinos, and you can like make a vacation out of it.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Interesting.
It's pretty cool.
I have been thinking about doing a trip to the Northeast at some point because that's where Tashina's family is from.
You could spend a day or 2 there.
Yeah, so that might be something to do. We'll figure it out. All right. Your next question around comes to us from Adam Holquist.
Thank you, Adam.
And the category is U.S. presidents.
All right, Tim, you ready?
Tim's favorite
Tim,
subject.
there we go. Counting on you, buddy.
Got this.
Who is the only U.S. president of the 20th century to not hold a college degree?
All right, we're locked in.
All right. So I have 2 names floating around in my head, and I think I've eliminated one of them.
Okay.
So I've got Hoover and Truman, but Hoover I'm pretty sure he was an engineer, and so he probably had a college degree for that. But I want to say that Truman became like a hat, like apprentice as a hat maker or something like that as a young man. I don't know that he ever went to college. I don't have a ton of thunder on it, but that's.
So I have another thought as well. Reagan was an actor, right?
He was, but he famously went to Eureka College in Illinois.
Did he discover it?
Okay, scratch that.
Well, nobody's going to acknowledge that joke.
I didn't hear you.
I said, did he discover it? You walk up on him like, Eureka!
That's nice. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the best. I know Carter went to the Naval Academy. Ford went to Michigan. Clinton went to Georgetown. Obama went to Occidental and Harvard and everywhere else. I feel. I mean, I've got an okay amount of thunder on Truman.
Yeah, I'm happy to go with your thoughts. I think you've got a lot more than I do.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we'll lock in with Harry Truman.
All right.
Okay, it's a good thing he clarified that because Trump went to Trump University, right?
I believe that was actually why I asked. Because
he went to Wharton.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. But
hashtag haberdasher.
Haberdasher. Okay.
Yeah,
there you go.
The hat maker.
Oh, okay. Very nice. But I remembered that Truman actually didn't graduate high school. He actually dropped out of it to work, and so we wrote down.
Become a haberdasher. That was what I was saying.
Yes. There you go. Okay.
Good gracious.
Will you leave me alone?
Okay.
Thank you.
Eureka.
Anyway,
You're on your own, Chris.
We locked in with Truman.
All right. Correct answer is Harry Truman.
The correct answer, huh? Did you hear yourself?
What'd I say?
The correct answer.
I was thinking about haberdasher.
Yeah, way to go, Jonathan.
The correct answer.
They said Truman, right?
Yes.
No, they said Jackson.
I am for real.
All right. Your last question round comes to us from Cody Cooper.
Thank you, Cody.
Thanks, Cody.
Thank you, Cody.
And the category is, I was told there would be no sports. The Indianapolis 500 is perhaps the most famous single automotive race in the world. Under normal conditions, what is the minimum number of laps a driver must complete to win the Indy 500?
That's the same thing I came up with.
Yeah.
All right, we're locked in.
So how big is the Indianapolis track?
Yeah, it's a 2.5 mile track. My dad was a big open wheel racing fan, so it's 200 laps.
That would make sense.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll lock in 200 laps.
All right.
Okay, we also locked in with 200 laps.
All right. Yep. You got to turn 200 times. Well, more than 200 times.
Turn left.
Yeah, more than that.
You got to turn left 800 times. So it's 200 times. 200 laps is the answer.
Is it a circle?
It's an oval.
You'd get vertigo.
Left. Left.
All right. Score check.
Yeah, going into midpoint.
So they are extending their lead on us, Chris. It is now 80-60. Matt and Tim are in the lead.
I'm not a fan of this, Jonathan.
Do better.
Same with you.
We would have gotten the St. Lawrence if I gone with my gut instinct.
Why didn't you?
Because
what was stopping you?
You liked Hudson better, and I thought it was acceptable. It was one of my choices, and you were like, I like that one.
So you realize that the score difference as a game is the fact that you guys are up creek. That's pretty much what the difference in the game is.
I'm not saying
St. Lawrence River and Stool. Those are the difference.
We can wrap it up and go.
I'm not saying another bad word. I blew my one opportunity to say a bad word on here, and just I blew it.
Yeah.
Chris only gets one bad word per show.
That's true.
He might accidentally say damn it later, and it's going to be hell to pay.
Yep. So your midpoint question is going to be in golf.
Oh, man.
All right. So I'm looking at a list published by ESPN as of 2018 that lists the top earners of all time in golf, all-time money leaders in golf. I want you, for 4 points each, to name the top 5 on this list.
Is it a male list, female list, male, female combined?
This is a male list.
And is it tournament winnings, or is it highest paid for various reasons?
Like sponsorship and such.
Right.
This is saying all-time money leaders. I want to lean
Okay.
towards tournament.
That sounds like tournament.
Yeah.
This is earnings. So yeah, tournament earnings, tournament winnings.
Do senior tour dollars count?
Give me just a second here. Highest earners on the PGA Tour of all time. Yeah, so this would be winnings they won on the tour.
And that sounds like just not the senior.
I have clarification, gentlemen. The earnings do include PGA Tour champions, which looks like to be the new name for the senior golf tour. So it does include that.
All right, we're locked in.
All right, Matty.
No.
So something that I haven't told you guys is that I actually started playing golf when I was 7 and have been playing ever since. So I'm fairly well versed with golf. However, knowing who owns what, that's a little bit more tricky. I have 2 names down that I'm fairly confident would be in the top 5. I think one thing that we should throw out straight away is that it won't be any older golfer because they earn way more now than they used to back then. So I would say it needs to be within the last 20 years, mostly.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking that for the most part, this is going to be people in like the 35 to 50 age range, roughly. People who are in the kind of post-Tiger era.
Yeah, so I think there's 2 names that I want to throw out there straight away, which is Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson.
Of course.
And another 3, which I feel all right. So the first one is Jordan Spieth. He's won an absolute bucket load. The difference between winning first and second is usually like a lot of money. So he has won like so many tournaments. It's crazy.
Right.
Then the other 2 names that I kind of have swirling around my head are Rory McIlroy and Jason Day.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm choosing Jason Day just because he's Australian and I feel some sort of hate for him, but I know that for quite a while Jason Day and Jordan Spieth were kind of like the top 2 duking it out, in a lot of tournaments. So that was kind of why I was thinking him. He has won a major tournament, and then Rory McIlroy has been around for quite a while as well. And while he's still quite young, he has also won a.
Yeah, so I put down a lot of golfers' names, and a lot are ones that you've already mentioned. Ones that I think could legitimately be on this list. Let me just run down the names that I put down here, and you tell me if any of these are like, yeah, that's someone we should really consider. I think someone that's a strong candidate is Vijay Singh. He's been around a long time. I don't know as far as major wins and things like that. I just know that
he's won the Masters twice, so I think it's twice. But I don't know. If you're thinking Vijay Singh, I would actually lean towards Greg Norman.
That's the other name that I had listed as far as someone with a long career and a lot of success. And even though Norman was a little bit earlier, he played into closer to the present day.
So I know Norman made an absolute ton of money on his entrepreneurial skills, but personally, I don't think that he's going to make the top 5 in this. I think he's just a little bit too old as far as money earnings go.
So, definitely Tiger, definitely Phil. I'm good with Jordan Spieth. So, and you were talking about Rory, which is the same kind of situation as Jordan Spieth, but he's been around a few years longer.
I'd say he's been playing for probably about 3 to 5 years longer than Spieth, probably.
Okay, and so your Jason Day would be a better choice than, say, Ricky Fowler, Zach Johnson, Bubba Watson, any of those guys?
Yeah, I think so. Other people I put down and crossed off were Ernie Els and Jim Furyk, but I think that they also didn't win enough. Els was a little bit too old, Jim Furyk as well.
Yeah, agreed on all of that. So, so Tiger, Phil, Spieth for sure, and then I feel good with McIlroy. And do you feel stronger about McIlroy than you do about Day? How do you feel between those 2?
I do feel stronger about McIlroy. He's been around, so I think Day was kind of a little bit of a late bloomer. He's a little bit older than Spieth, but I don't think he came onto the circuit till a little bit later. I'm just wondering, is there some other international that I'm forgetting about that's not?
Yeah, there's KJ Choi. There's no one that I can really think of that would have been contemporary and really successful. So, then are we okay with Tiger, Phil, Spieth, Day, and McIlroy?
I'm okay with it.
Yeah. There probably is someone we're forgetting, but
definitely not Shooter McGavin.
Oh, Gilmore. It's definitely Gilmore.
Gilmore, right.
All right, guys. Y'all want to lock in?
Yeah, we'll lock in Woods, Mickelson, Spieth, Day, and McIlroy.
We had a lot of similar discussion too.
Very similar discussions, except there was one guy who's a contemporary with Tiger, like dead on contemporary that you didn't mention that we're hoping is on the list. So we had Tiger and Phil, and the other contemporary in that age range that's still playing today and winning major tournaments, or at least major tournament, is Sergio Garcia. So we liked Sergio Garcia just because of the age that he's been playing in. Then it came to our arguments where Chris feels like Freddie Couples won a ton of things. I felt like Ernie Els and Vijay Singh won a ton of things more recently than Freddie Couples. And then we both acknowledged Rory and Spieth. And we didn't mention Jason Day. We don't think he's on the list just because of age. And so we had to kind of hash it out. And at the end of the day, I felt more strongly that Els would be higher than Singh. I feel like he was playing, I might be wrong, but I feel like he was doing it longer or at a higher level for a longer period of time. And then it came down to VJ versus, we thought Rory was the highest earning of the three younger people. So it came down to a fight between Rory and VJ and Fred Couples, and we went with Rory. So we said Tiger, Phil, Ernie Els, Sergio Garcia, and Rory McIlroy.
What an interesting discussion.
Sergio, I like a lot.
Yeah, and I had him written down right under Spieth and neglected to mention him.
All right, so both of you got Tiger and Phil right for sure. They're number 1 and number 2 respectively. Third in all-time earnings, and I checked this on 2 different lists, is Vijay Singh.
Damn it.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Damn it.
I'm so sorry, Jonathan. Wow.
Sorry, Matty.
Yeah, that's all right.
Fourth on the list, who's probably my favorite golfer after Tiger and Phil, is Mr. Jim Furyk.
Oh, y'all meant when you mentioned him, I thought, wow, Furyk has still been playing for a long time.
I thought he's the Ryder Cup captain as well, so I was like, does that mean he's won enough to put him up there?
And fifth on the list, this guy was a former number 1 recently for like 50-something weeks, is Dustin Johnson.
Oh, wow.
We didn't even talk about Dustin Johnson.
So Ernie Els was 8th, Sergio Garcia was 9th, Jordan Spieth 18th, McIlroy 17th, Jason Day 14th on the list.
Those guys,
all those younger guys,
they're all right there.
They're going to break the records.
They're going to be
there, but the older guys had done it longer, like significantly longer.
Yep.
Yeah, that was really. I like the question because it was really hard to parse out age versus current earnings versus wins.
Nice job on that, Ben.
Oh, thanks.
And for all of that discussion and for all of our trying on both teams, all that we got between either one of us was Tiger and Phil.
Hey, at least we got them. Man, we got to do some catching up in the second round, man.
All right. So your fourth round begins in the category Food and Love.
Hey,
oh, yeah.
This is rapidly becoming one of Ben's favorite categories.
Oh, yeah. All right. What baking ingredient, sprayed at high pressure, is used by the Air Force as a safer alternative to stripping paint? I should say was first used by the Air Force as a safer alternative to stripping paint.
Safer than what?
So the way that question came across is that they were using toxic chemicals.
Okay.
And this is a non-toxic alternative.
Ben, we're locked in.
All right.
You and your pizza blanket.
Oh, it's warm now.
That's my pizza towel. Thank you.
Oh, it's a towel?
It's a towel.
Man,
it's a
Jonathan's
towel.
body has been rubbed up against that.
Well, not recently, I hope.
Well, I mean,
I hope there's been a spin in the washer and dryer between
his
them.
naked body
you
has
never
been...
know, dude. You know, I like rolling around on a pizza with my fantasies.
Wow.
With that towel, I can achieve both food and love.
I'm just checking for any faint yellow blotches on here.
Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time
Just
it
look
is.
for the stiff parts.
Yeah.
One word, sausage-like.
What's awesome is that's 2 words.
And Matty, we're seeing your ceiling really good, man.
Yeah, you got a beautiful ceiling up there.
That hotel ceiling.
Oh, God.
That's right.
No, keep it on the ceiling, man. Jeez. Oh, man. Oh, jeez.
He almost broke his Skype. It's probably why we're having connection problems for Tim. Is Matty's face.
All right. Y'all can talk it out now.
So it's not WD-40, which I know they used to get graffiti off walls.
Yeah, because if you bake with WD-40, I'm not eating at your house.
Hey, man, nothing sticks to the pan.
The other thing I was thinking, which is kind of why I asked the clarifying question, is I know that they use like Coke and Coke syrup for cleaning blood and other silly things. And I don't know if that's an old wives' tale or if that's legitimate, but that's something I thought of. But I think the 2 things that I immediately gravitate towards are vinegar and baking soda, but I don't have any thunder on that.
No, I wrote down, because as far as baking specific ingredients, the ones I listed here are baking soda, baking powder, flour, oil, vinegar, and yeast. And of those, baking soda and vinegar are used as, they're used as cleaning ingredients. And I guess my only question would be, which would be better for stripping paint as far as high pressure application? The one thing about vinegar is would you classify it as a baking ingredient if that were the right answer? Is that how you would describe vinegar? I know it's used in plenty of stuff for baking, but it is a fair question. Like it feels a little bit obscure for baking. Yeah. I'm okay with either baking soda or vinegar, but I lean toward baking soda, but I'm good with whichever of those you like best.
I'm happy to go with baking soda.
Yeah. Okay. Let's lock in baking soda.
Well, one of the things that my wife loves to watch is DIY Network and HGTV and stuff like that. And when you see enough...
Is that all wrestling matches by the tag team DIY?
It is not, as a matter of fact, although that would be amazing.
It really would.
One of the things that they show is like one of the best ways of being able to get paint off things gently without destroying the thing, and usually has decent cost savings, is using baking soda. So I convinced you to lock in with baking soda.
Yep. Correct answer is baking soda.
Why could you not go vinegar?
Hold on, Matty.
Oh. Man, that was torturous to listen to. I'm like, please go vinegar.
I'm by the way, I'm all for the Gargano and Ciampa network.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
All right. Your second question is in philosophers.
Oh, crap.
We need some movie questions.
Some philosophizing.
There's a movie question coming next. Thank you very much.
Give me like all movie questions.
All the movies.
All the movies.
So I'm going to name 4 great men from history, and I want you to tell me who was the oldest.
Am I on this list?
No, you're not.
By oldest, you mean the one that lived first? That was born first?
The one who was born first.
Yes. Okay, so born first, not lived the longest.
Born first. All right. Plato, Alexander the Great, Socrates, Aristotle. Who was born first?
We're locked in.
All right.
Okay. So I always had trouble with this one before with the 3 Greek philosophers there, but I put together the mnemonic of SPA for the order in which they lived. It's Socrates, then Plato, then Aristotle, and Alexander the Great was, I think, Aristotle's student, but he was a child, and so it's definitely not him. So it's got to be Socrates.
Lock it in.
We'll lock in Socrates.
All right.
We also locked in Socrates.
All right.
Love the Socrates reference.
Yep. Correct answer is Socrates.
Nice.
You know, it would be nice if you guys would get one wrong occasionally here.
It really would. It's been a while.
It's been way too long.
It's like stained over here. Been a while.
That's nice.
But they haven't missed a regular question
Since the first one.
since the first one. What the bleep?
What the bleep and bleep. All right. Your last question around comes to us from Cody Cooper.
Thank you, Cody. Great
Category
name, by the way.
is movies and sports.
Movies and love.
Movies and love. Released in the 1990s, what movie was the highest grossing basketball film of all time?
Oh, you're probably right.
couple more, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
I'm
feeling pretty confident about it.
I say we lock that in.
Okay, we're locked in.
So I have two movies that immediately sprung to mind.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is Basketball, which I don't believe it is. And the second one, which I think it is Space Jam.
I think so as well. I mean, I wrote down a list of basketball-related movies that from the 90s, or at least close. But Space Jam, White Men Can't Jump,
Yeah.
The Basketball Diaries, Love and Basketball, and then Hoosiers, which I'm pretty sure is from the 80s.
Don't forget Teen Wolf.
Oh, well, definitely. We weren't asking for the greatest basketball movie.
Right.
But yeah, so of those, I would imagine that Space Jam made the most money. So I'm good with you there.
Okay, let's lock it in.
All right.
Actually, Jonathan, I kind of wish we had a conversation about White Men Can't Jump, because
That could be it.
That sounds awfully familiar.
I think
once
Space
you
Jam
said that,
earned more money.
But we locked in with Space Jam.
Like Heavy D. Jam. Here comes the band.
Hot.
Damn. That was good. You skipped it, Chris. You didn't use your second swear.
Yeah.
There you
Chris
go.
is going to get in trouble with the wifey.
Yeah. All right. Correct answer is Space Jam.
All right.
Nice.
Dude, no, I would have argued against White Man Can't Jump. That came out a couple years earlier, and it was rated R.
That's true.
Yeah,
but it made a lot of money though.
It didn't make nearly as much as I bet it didn't make like half of Space Jam.
You put Love or
Warner-
Basketball.
That Warner Brothers money, bro.
I love and basketball. Thank you very
Love and
much.
Basketball, excuse
I was
me.
naming basketball movies.
All right. I'm just glad you didn't put Hoosiers, because that was 1986.
Blue Chips and Above the Rim made it to my list.
Wow. Yeah. What about
Both good
Airbud?
movies.
You didn't put Airbud.
I missed Airbud. I'm sorry. That's Teen Wolf to the next level.
And don't forget about Airbud 2, Golden Reliever.
He went full fur on that one. Exactly. How long is it going to take before we get a movie called Fur Baby? It could be a horror movie.
There might be a horror movie already out by the name of Fur.
We already had that. It was called Gremlins.
See, yes. Like a dog shows up in your neighborhood and you adopt him, and then he goes like killing the neighborhood kids.
Like Cujo?
Yeah, but he comes back to the house and he always looks innocent, and you can't tell that it's him. And so now he's living in your house, and every time,
except his fur is red.
Every time you're watching the dog like playing with the kids, you're freaking out. But that could be a good horror movie.
Ben, that's 2 minutes of our lives.
This
we won't
sounds
get
a little
back.
bit like Man's Best Friend. Have you seen that?
No.
All right.
That sounds actually more like every cat I've ever known.
Score check.
After the fourth round, the score is 118 for Matty and Tim to 98 for Chris and Jonathan.
You mean Hall and Oaks?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Doo-doo-doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo.
All right. Just waiting on you. Your fifth round comes to us from Rob Warman.
All right, thank you, Rob.
Rob Warman.
Thanks, Rob.
Trivia
I
writer,
cannot
Rob
believe
Warman.
Rob got a question on the episode.
Again, it's prolific trivia writer. Rob
That's
Warman.
The nickname is not going to stick, dude.
It is totally
We're
gonna
going to
stick.
meet in Vegas. So, Rob, I hope you come to Vegas, especially in August.
I will call
Chris
him.
is going to be like, prolific trivia writer Rob Warman.
I will call him
How
that.
you doing?
I will call him that every time.
Rob's like, look, I'm not waiting 2 years to get back on. I'm going to figure out how to get on this show one way or another, damn it. All right.
He's at the bar. Hey, have y'all met my friend, prolific trivia writer Rob Warman? We call him PWRW for short. Pull roar. Pull roar.
All right. Your first category is in music.
Music.
What New Yorker and music legend has played at least one sold-out show at Madison Square Garden every month since January 2014?
Feel good?
Fits the criteria.
It does. I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know if that person is playing shows every month at that place.
I believe they are.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Okay.
We'll lock in.
All right. So, I mean, if I think like legendary New Yorkers, and I think he's been playing shows a lot lately, I think it would be Billy Joel.
That sounds good to me. The only other person I thought of, but it's probably not him, was the boss, who, now that I think about it, is probably from somewhere else.
From New Jersey. He's from Asbury Park, New Jersey, and he actually just finished up a residency on Broadway. It wasn't at Madison Square Garden, so yeah, I think he's out.
Okay. I don't have anything else to contribute, so let's do it.
All right, let's lock in Billy Joel.
All right.
Oh my God! Why don't y'all answer something different than we answer?
Quit copying our answers.
We said Billy Joel.
Correct answer is Billy Joel.
See, there was a time when you'd be like, nice job, Chris. You did great on that one. And instead, it's just like, yeah, they got it right, too.
Some folks like to get away, take a holiday from the neighborhood.
All right. Your second question is in science.
Science.
Rob Warman was born with polydactyly, a condition shared by Taye Diggs, Anne Boleyn, and most of Ernest Hemingway's cats. What was Rob born with?
Let's just say this. Locked in.
All right.
So polydactyly, the Ernest Hemingway cats, they have an extra finger. It's the guy who killed Inigo Montoya's father.
Aha. I was thinking web fingers, but that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
He was a fabulous swimmer.
He can. I guess Rob can count to 11 without taking off his shoes. We'll say he's got an extra digit of some sort, probably finger.
All right.
We said extra fingers.
Yep, polydactyly is extra digits. I will accept both answers.
All right.
No, do not accept their answer, Ben. Don't accept it.
They were more precise than we were, Chris.
Whatever.
If I throw theirs, I had to throw yours out.
Throw your face out.
So, yeah, typically when Tashina and I get into tiffs like that, she'd be like, she'll say something like, your mama. She's like, your daddy. I'm like, my daddy dead. How you going to talk about my daddy? All right. Last question is in literature.
Literature.
Many consider the oldest example of great literature to be an epic poem from approximately 2000 BC about the adventures of a Sumerian king. What was the king's name?
Feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, no, good. Do it. We're locked in.
We're locked in.
All right.
All right, Tim, what do you have here?
A big old bag of nothing.
All righty. I know probably a lot of people in the Trivial Warfare Army play trivia apps, and one that RIP has gone from us is the Cash Show. And the Cash Show seemed to always love to ask questions about the Sumerians. They were just had a Sumerian question every day. And so it was from this that I learned about something I'd never heard of before, which is the Epic of Gilgamesh. So I think it's Gilgamesh.
All right.
Yeah, we'll lock in Gilgamesh.
All right.
Grr. We said Gilgamesh. I'm getting tired of you, Matty Kimberlin. Getting tired
Correct
of you.
answer is Gilgamesh.
Man. We're playing a really good game, too, Jonathan.
I'm aware.
Like, really good.
Yeah. All right. 148 for Tim and Matty to 128 for Chris and Jonathan.
Going into the final round.
Going into round 6.
All right. Your first categories in movies.
All right.
Happy now? Movie question.
What was the first question that we got right and they missed?
Scarface.
Yep.
That was good times.
That was good times. Really good times.
I remember those days.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, no, that was good times.
When we were in the lead. It was great.
Back when we thought they might miss questions.
Yeah, exactly. We were wrong.
No. Hadn't happened since that one.
That's true.
Might as well reminisce.
That's right. Give him some more golf. Let's get some more golf questions.
No. What the hell are you thinking?
Golf movies.
He likes golf. We don't.
Speak for yourself.
All right.
Okay. He knows stuff about golf.
That's true. All right. Can Ben ask the question now?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
All right. Look at those eyes. How can you say no to those eyes?
I'm just waiting for you to finish thinking.
Proceed.
Thanks. All right. The 2011 HBO film Too Big to Fail features William Hurt, who plays what real-life government official? I will accept either the official's name or their position.
All right, we're locked in.
All right.
My thought here is, given that, I mean, there are lots of government officials, but in the movie Too Big to Fail, I mean, it's got to be about the 2008 crisis, right? I would imagine.
Right.
And
right.
so I would think, I'm glad that Ben is asking only for the, for the position or the person, because I think it's got to be either the chairman of the Fed or the secretary of the Treasury. That seems like the most likely.
So I also thought about the SEC commissioner or chair or whatever it is, but something that popped into my mind that's been going on recently is they've been talking about rolling back a bunch of regulations that Trump essentially doesn't like. And I believe they were part of what was called the Frank Dodd Act. And I was wondering if that guy was the one that they're talking about in the movie.
So, I mean, it could be. Dodd-Frank. Here's the thing. I will say that I don't think it's going to be either of those, because since Ben said that we could give the government officials title, and senator or representative wouldn't make sense with that.
That's fair. I didn't know what their positions were, so.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think it's and the SEC commissioner could be, but I mean, most of the stuff that happened with the whole Too Big to Fail wasn't around securities. It wasn't like stuff. I mean, it was the collateralized debt obligations thing. Yeah, I think he's probably played either Ben Bernanke or Geithner or Paulson, whichever one was the Secretary of the Treasury at the time. So, I mean, I would lean between Fed Chairman and Secretary of the Treasury. I would lean to Fed Chairman, but again, it's not super strong.
I'm just wondering, so the Secretary of the Treasury reports to the President, whereas the Fed Chair is meant to be independent or impartial or whatever. So does that help to sway your opinion at all? Or
I think, unfortunately, I don't.
Which way were you leaning again?
I'm leaning toward the chairman of the Fed.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, yeah, we'll go with the Federal Reserve Chairman. Lock it in.
All right, Jonathan and I went kind of about a bit, and he made a really good point. We were really trying to remember the name, because the title, I mean, gives you a lot more cover than a name.
Oh, my God, we couldn't think of the title to save our lives.
Yeah, but Fed Chair.
Federal Reserve is the, it's the banks, Chris, the banks.
Anyway, but I convinced Jonathan to lock in with Bernanke.
All right. Bernanke was played by Paul Giamatti. William Hurt played Henry Paulson, who was the Secretary of the Treasury.
Secretary of the Treasury.
Both got it wrong.
I had it written down.
Yeah.
Man. Of the times they missed a question, this was a chance.
Sorry, I failed. I watched that movie, too. That's what
you shouldn't have told me that. Now I feel worse.
Wow.
Oh.
Diaper change?
We should have gotten it.
Diaper change. All right. Your next question is in geography.
All right.
Geography.
Liechtenstein is very fun to say.
Liechtenstein?
Case in point.
Man, it really is.
It's also a tiny landlocked nation bordered by what two Central European countries?
So, Wakanda and Latveria?
Chris, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I've written these down.
Right.
And I'm thinking it's that one and either that one or that one. I'm leaning towards these two.
The little bit I know about European geography, and sadly it's not nearly enough, I agree with that. Just because of vicinity of where you're talking about.
It's just a guess, but we're locked in.
All right.
So how much thunder you got, Matty?
Well, I know that one of them is Germany. That part I'm confident about. And the first thing that came to mind for the second one was Switzerland, but so
I actually thought it was Belgium and Germany. I know it's there. I should actually know what this is, because I actually lived in London for 4.5 years, which is not that far away from there, but I don't for sure.
So I think that Belgium is next to Luxembourg. I don't think it's next to Liechtenstein.
You're right, because of Benelux, which is
right,
the business thing.
So, and also, I mean, so here's my thing. So I'm also trying to work with the question here. So the four countries that I think are possible answers for the other country here are Switzerland, Austria, Italy, and France. And I mean, as far as calling something Central European, I wouldn't call France or Italy Central European. I would call them Western and Southern, respectively.
I didn't think it was down there. I thought it was up in that region of like Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, France, Switzerland. So
then it'd have to be either Switzerland or Austria, I would think. I mean, and Austria is definitely a Central European country, whereas Switzerland, you could call it more Western.
It's kind of subjective around like what's Western, what's Central. I having lived in London, I kind of felt anything that's not in the UK is Central, but
fair. I mean, if you had to throw one out, I mean, are you also confident Germany being one of them?
Yes. I mean the word, like the name itself is like Germanic sounding. So I feel like that's a good way to get into it. I'm happy for us to go Switzerland.
Might as well give Jonathan Chris a chance here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, let's lock it in. Germany and Switzerland.
Germany and Switzerland. Let's do it.
Y'all's uses of East and West is making me want to look at a map, because I could have sworn Switzerland was on the southeast of Germany, north of Italy, and France was on the other side. I could have sworn you making it sound like Germany is northeast of Switzerland and France is to the left of Switzerland, but I mean, I thought that the German Alps went through, or the Swiss Alps were Germany, Switzerland, Italy right there. Now I'm all confused, but I figured it was Germany for sure. And I wrote down 3 that I was debating, which was Switzerland, Belgium, and Austria. I didn't think it was France. France was too far west. I think I consider Central Italy anything east of France. Well, at least other than Eastern Italy. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. What am I saying? Italy?
I don't know why you're saying Italy, but yes, you're saying Italy.
Eastern Europe. I'm sorry. Central Europe would be east of France, but west of things like Romania and whatnot. So I narrowed it down to Switzerland and Belgium. I came up with the same logic on Benelux, and I went Switzerland. So Germany and Switzerland.
So same answer.
All right. Liechtenstein sits between Switzerland and Austria. Does not border Germany. Misses it by 30 miles or so.
Come on.
I've literally got to look at a map right now. My brain is going nuts on where the hell France and Germany is.
I triple checked this.
No. I know
you're not doubting me.
I'm not doubting you. I'm trying to figure out where the hell these countries are.
Germany is an odd-shaped country.
Yes.
It's very odd.
Not that odd. It can't be on both sides.
It has all the sides.
Oh,
they have the sides.
No, yeah, you're right. It is southwest. Man, my vision of Germany.
Oh man,
my vision of Germany is just flat out incorrect. Because Switzerland borders France on Switzerland's west and Germany on the northeast. And there's Liechtenstein.
Pretty close to the German.
It's so close.
Oh, it's close.
Yeah.
It's close, but no cigar.
Stupid Switzerland.
Wasn't Switzerland, it was Germany that we missed.
I need you to be more precise, Germany. Get on it. Your border needs to be right angles.
Your last question for the final question comes to us from Cody Cooper.
Thank you, Cody.
Hey, Cody.
And category is America.
America.
Awesome.
Do you know where that's at on a map?
It's the whole
Map.
western side of the map.
Okay.
Yep. Alaska and Hawaii were the most recent states to join the Union in 1959. In 1912, what state became the 48th state to join the Union?
All right, we're locked in.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure 46 through 48 are in some combination Arizona, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. And I think 48 was Oklahoma. I think it's one of those things that's surprising because it's as far east as it is, but I think it mostly is kind of an Indian country sort of situation where that one was really late to be added as an actual state. So I think it's Oklahoma.
Let's go with you got.
Yeah, I think it's right. But yeah, so yeah, let's lock in Oklahoma.
All right.
Chris, you brought up Oklahoma and I poo-pooed it.
No, Oklahoma, I think I thought Oklahoma was like the 46th state. I think it was like 1908. And the only reason I know that is because of the little bit of time that I spent there seeing my Aunt Pat in Oklahoma City. But I'm pretty sure the answer is Arizona. I remember, there's certain trivia that I remember, and I really thought Arizona was the 48th state.
All right, we went with Arizona.
Correct answer is Arizona.
Nice job, guys.
It's a shame we didn't say Austria, man,
I know, right?
because this one didn't matter too much.
Well, but we were sure Germany. It was just it was Switzerland that we weren't sure of.
Yeah, dumb.
But we caught up a little bit.
They went from getting everything right from the second question until the 14th question, and then missed all three in the 6th round.
Man.
It's crazy.
They tried to be nice to us. That was very sweet of y'all.
Tried
We
to
just
help out.
screwed it up.
Yeah.
That was very
Exactly how.
Going into the gauntlet, 148 for Matty and Tim to 138 for Chris and Jonathan.
We got a game here. All right, Ben, what's the category for the gauntlet?
The gauntlet comes to us from Michael Scuba,
Thanks, Michael.
and the category
Michael.
for the gauntlet is initials.
Okay.
Our wagers are locked in.
Our wager is locked.
All right.
All right.
That was very dramatic.
I know.
It
It's
was.
very William Shatner.
Lucy in the sky with diamond.
The girl with kaleidoscope eyes.
Here is your first question in initials. What was the name of the trickster character played by John Delancey on Star Trek The Next Generation?
We're locked in.
We're locked in.
All right. This Korean conglomerate is known in the U.S. primarily for electronics and their happy one-eyed logo, and is commonly known by what short initialism?
Yeah, all right. We're locked in.
We're locked in.
Last question. Founded by Bob Johnson in 1980, this TV network began as a 2-hour-a-week block of programming on the Madison Square Garden Sports Network before taking a gamble on becoming its own channel in 1983.
All right, we're locked in.
All right.
We're locked in.
It only took him 3 questions, but he finally got there.
It's all right. Okay, let's read them back. What was the name of the trickster character played by John Delancey on Star Trek The Next Generation?
We locked in with Q.
Okay.
We also locked in with Q.
All right.
I was a big fan of his girlfriend character, QT.
Oh.
Second question. This Korean conglomerate is known in the U.S. primarily for electronics and their happy one-eyed logo and is commonly known by what short initialism?
We said LG.
We also said LG.
All right. And founded by Bob Johnson, this TV network began as part of the Madison Square Garden Sports Network before becoming its own channel in 83.
So we started on ESPN, and I was like, I feel like ESPN started in 1979. I feel pretty strong about that. But we stayed in the sports arena, Madison Square Garden being in New York, and went with the Yes Network, YES.
Okay.
So I think that Bob Johnson is a very famous African-American entrepreneur who founded Ebony and Jet magazines and was the original owner of the Charlotte Bobcats, who were named in his honor, and that would make him the founder of BET.
So John Delancey did in fact play Q on Star Trek The Next Generation. The Korean conglomerate you're thinking of is LG. And last question, I did put a clue there, taking a gamble. That network is BET.
Wow. Nice job, guys.
Great
Nice, Matty.
job. And
Wow.
what a big answer at the end there.
Man,
What a
Clutch.
big answer.
we were just outclassed a little bit there, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
But when they were discussing it, he's like, Bob Johnson did this. And I'm like, Bob Johnson is a generic ass name. How do you know what Bob Johnson did?
He's also a rich black man.
Yeah, apparently it's completely unaware, but to me, it's just generic name. So by knowing that, you really sealed the deal.
Crushed it. So
Crushed
it comes.
it.
It's sort of
Does not come down to wagers, Chris.
No, that's true.
They have a lead, and we
won.
didn't win.
But we.
So just
but we bet 20.
Yeah, so that was the math that Tim never finished doing. Was the if this, then this, then this? Yeah, the answer to that was 20.
Yeah.
So that ends us with what, Jonathan?
That ends you with 118.
Yeah, we
Okay.
finished with 118.
All right, gentlemen, what did you bet? Because Jonathan is just bitter and disgusted right now.
You shut your mouth.
Well, we love you, Jonathan.
Oh, thank you. I love you
So
too.
I was telling Tim I was on one of the early episodes of Andy Saunders' Complete the List, and I was in this sort of a situation. Went into the final with the lead, got the final right, and didn't have enough confidence to wager high, and so I ended up losing. And I swore that was not going to happen again. So we went for the big cover with 129 points.
Woo!
He bet big,
So, Ben, what did they end
and
with?
it paid off.
So your final score is going to be Matty and Tim with 277, Hall and Oaks with 118.
Man, nice job, guys. Really nice job.
I think you said it right when you said they just outclassed us a little
Yep.
bit there, dude.
Yeah, because we played about as good of a game as we could add.
Yeah.
We got bettered. We got.
We got bettered.
We got.
All
Yeah, combined
right.
score of 286 at the end. That's respectable. It
Yeah.
really is.
That's, yeah. Nice job, gentlemen. So can you guys stick around for a couple reviews?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
You know, this episode is going to be really big within the LGBTQ community.
So I'll tell you, it's funny you say that because when Michael Scuba sent me these questions, they all were like word plays, and he actually called this Carmela's Gauntlet for that reason. But I switched the questions around a little bit because I tried to make what I think is the most difficult question the last one. So
And you did.
All right, here we go. This review is by Betha Claus, and she says, addictive road trip material. I can't remember how I found the podcast, but it has quickly become my favorite. Most of the podcasts I listen to are dark material or politics, which, I mean, can get pretty dark too.
Amen.
So this provides a good listening option when I have the kiddos aged 7 through 12 with me. As soon as we get in the car, they ask about trivia and whether it's a sometimes Jonathan day. We're getting ready to head out on a 3-hour road trip this afternoon to Wichita, where my oldest daughter will be competing at the state science Olympiad tournament.
Science!
And my backlog will keep us entertained there and back. Thanks for helping me raise the next generation of insufferable know-it-alls. Hashtag Team Ben,
All
the
right.
insufferable know-it-all.
That's true. I was going to say that's kind of appropriate.
Yep. There's that kettle calling the damn refrigerator black.
Yeah. And this is we'll do the last one today is by Dr. Redbird. Dr. Redbird says, embrace your Embrace your inner nerd.
Innards.
In nerds. I just started listening to this podcast, but I've already felt like a part of the TWA. The hosts do a great job of making the listeners feel welcome and part of the trivia community. Before listening to this podcast, I had no clue that a trivia community was even out there, besides local pubs and Jeopardy. I love that the listeners get to hear about the journey of Trivial Warfare and how quickly they become a regular in the trivia community. In my circle of friends, I'm the nerdy one who loves puns, random information, and just learning new things. When I listen to Trivial Warfare, I feel as if I have a new set of friends who eagerly accept my nerdiness, knows that learning is cool.
Kool.
Oh, yes. Word of caution. If you're just starting to listen like me, be prepared to find yourself yelling out loud in public when you're excited to know an answer, texting yourself facts you want to look up later, and changing your computer background to a map of the world so you can practice geography. That's a great idea.
I need to do that.
Oh my God, I'm going to do that.
I'm doing that, dang it.
I'll do
Doing
different
that right
continents like once per week. That's genius. Oh, dude, Dr. Redbird, legit.
The doctor is in.
Or feel the need to email the host about the wrong information provided, only to realize you're listening to a podcast produced a year ago. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, you are. They're like, I'm not sure if you know this, but this is like, dude, we've had that corrected like 18 times. Okay. Trust. Cheers to Jonathan, Chris, Carmela, and Ben for producing such an entertaining and educational podcast. Thanks and gig 'em from Aggieland, Texas. Team Jonathan, Team Carmela, science rules.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Redbird.
That's fantastic.
Awesome.
All right, now it's time to do our promotions in the Trivial Warfare Army. First up, we have some new lieutenants: Chris Corsiega, Casey Hackett, Alex Wood, Andrew Lau, Matthew Gritzmacher, Allison Doucette, Whitney Wakefield, Patrick Nolan, Hey There Mark, Mona Bray, Tyler Smith, Ryan Boyd, Mary Kate Harkreader, David Mears, David Radersma, and the Blast from Our Past podcast have all signed up as lieutenants in the Trivial Warfare Army. Thank you. That's fantastic to hear that you all have joined up since December. That is wonderful. Thank you so much. Additionally, we have Eric Purser, who has joined us as a new captain. Thank you, Eric. Zakia Marcela Mendoza has joined us as a new major. Thank you, Zakia. That's awesome. Last but not least, Lyrka Lawler has joined us as a new private. Thank you and welcome to everybody who joined the Trivial Warfare Army recently. I hope you guys have set up your access to the bonus episodes and all the historical episodes. I hope you're enjoying that. If you want to be just like these awesome people, make sure you're getting all of the content that we put out and help to support the show. Just head over to trivialwarfarearmy.com, look at the different tiers, and sign up where you think is best for you. Thanks, everybody. All right, well, guys, before we go, I'd like to give you guys a chance to do shout-outs or promote anything that you want to tell people about. So, Tim, we'll start with you.
Being that I work in the tech industry, some foundations that are kind of top of mind for me are the EFF, the Mozilla Foundation, and the ACLU. So if you all feel like you can donate and help them out, I think they're all great causes and really help our freedoms on the internet.
Freedoms on the internet, a big freaking deal.
Amen.
Right there with you.
Yep.
And Matty, your turn.
So I first, thanks for having me on, guys, and hopefully you will at some point in the future. Hope I haven't worn out my welcome. So Clever Clogs Trivia is hopefully coming to a town near you in the new year. So if you know a place that needs some pub trivia, contact us at cleverclogstrivia.com or at cleverclogstrivia@gmail.com.
Could you spell that for them?
Yes, Clever, Clever, Clogs, Clogs. It's the British equivalent of Smarty Pants.
Ah.
So, I guess my biggest cause right now, make sure you get all the cinnamon rolls for your local Holiday Inn experience.
Darn right. Let's
awesome.
use that loophole to our advantage.
I should also shout out my wife so I don't get shot.
Man, I was about to bring that up.
Thank you to my wife, Jess, who's looking after my 2-year-old son to allow us to film this. I know that he's sick and he's angry and he's a lot at the moment, but thank you so much for doing that for us.
Thank you, Jess. We appreciate you.
Yes.
And thank you to Lori and Megs and Bubs for having vacated the premises so that we could do this today.
Maddie's like, oh, crap, I got family to say, too. Oh, jeez, thanks.
Man,
no,
way
I
to
mean,
chuck him under the
I
bus,
realized
They
bro.
can tell.
Bro.
I realized it the whole time, but it was just the priority was cinnamon rolls and then family.
I like to
sounds
be the
about
man
right.
who has their priorities in order. All right, well, that is going to wrap us up. So for Maddie, for Tim, for Ben, and for Chris, I'm Jonathan, and this has been another episode of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, guys.
Take care, everybody.
See you.
Thank you for listening to Trivial Warfare. To learn more about the show and become a warhead yourself, visit trivialwarfare.com. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes or in any other good podcast app. And find us on Facebook or Twitter by searching Trivial Warfare. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. If you need help with your podcast, find it at propodcastingservices.com.
Wait, you guys are about to hear something rare, but you know what? That's Lauren Carey.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. All right.
Oh, that wasn't funny to me.
Really?
I don't know why.
Because Ben
I thought it was
throughout
funny.
all of UHF
Oh,
was like,
yeah, no, that's...
this is my...
Yeah, but it's a lot
That's
funnier
what-
to say this is my than it is to say this is somebody names. That,
Oh, okay.
It's less funny that
I'm
way.
It would have
Sorry.
been funny if you was like, Lauren Carey's listening to this right now saying, ooh, that's my that's my All right.
Or you could say that's her. And that's
That's
funny.
funnier.
Yes.
See, darn it.
You got to work on your comedy, Chris.
You got to stick to pronouns.
I wasted
Pronouns.
saying a swear word.
You
on the-
really
on the
did,
line.
yeah.
Man.
But when you talk about actual poop, is it a swear word?
When you say shit, it is. Okay. Your third round.
Beeping yourself after you've already said.
That's
Yes,
what
I
it
am.
is.
I am a quandrum.
You know something? There are times where I feel like Joel should not charge you for editing. Like the entertainment value he gets. Like some of these shows should be free. You know what I'm saying? Like Joel, you should not charge Jonathan some, or knock off the discount. There's entertainment value, damn it.
What's funny is, so he could charge me more, especially for the length of our shows, and he considers us a loss leader in a sense, where he's willing to do the work and not get paid his full price because he can point to the quality of this show and say, "Look at what I've been a part of."
I got you.
And I respect that.
That's
I think
wonderful.
it's great.
That's wonderful. Yeah. But yeah, you should still get them for free. All right. You know I'm joking, Joel.
No.
Joel is a great guy too. He's really helped
he's
me
a
out a
good
lot
guy.
with
Yep,
with
good
other
guy.
stuff. He's good.
Saving all my love for you. God dang it. Each letter. 1 letter, 2 letter, 3 letter.
You need a word
You
processor.
can't even read it. I'm going to give you like a keyboard so you can just type this stuff in.
I'm pretty sure that's Q, and he fits the category.
I don't think I have a favorite pinball table. I'm a little sad by this.
Or you're a grown ass man.
Touche. Touche, Whitey.
That makes me really sad.
What I love about that statement is it implies that Matthew is not a grown ass man.
I'm really
Well, I mean,
sad
I do
now.
resemble that remark.
There you go.